What if I told you that one golfer made more money off the course than he ever did playing it, and he's still cashing checks from beyond the grave? Or that another turned down nearly $500 million just to protect his reputation? And then there's the shocker, a player whose total net worth now rivals Michael Jordan's. And yet, most fans still think of him as just a golfer. This isn't just a list of tournament winnings. We're diving into private jets, business empires, controversial contracts, and billion-dollar brands built on the backs of golf clubs. Some of these fortunes were earned through sweat, skill, and global fame. Others came from behind-the-scenes power moves, risky bets, and even a few scandals the PGA would rather forget. From living legends to unexpected tycoons, this is the real leaderboard, where dollars count more than trophies. Let's count down the top 10 richest golfers of all time. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at a golf swing the same way again. They call him the Big Easy, but Ernie Els' wealth wasn't built by taking it easy. With 4 major championships and dozens of international wins, Els carved out a Hall of Fame career. But it's what he did off the course that truly padded his net worth. He launched Ernie Els Design, a golf architecture firm responsible for over 100 courses worldwide. From Dubai to Malaysia, his signature is stamped on some of the most luxurious golf developments in the world. He also has a sprawling wine estate in South Africa, a charitable foundation, and global endorsements with brands like SAP, Boeing, and Shrikson. But not all headlines have been friendly. He's been called out for developing luxury courses in drought-prone regions and brushing off environmental concerns. Still, with a portfolio that spans continents, Ernie Els quietly teed up a fortune most golfers never sniff. And yet, even he looks like small change next to the next guy. He's barely into his 30s, but Jordan Spieth is already sitting on a fortune that would make most veteran pros jealous. 3 majors, multiple PGA Tour wins, but the real windfall? Sponsorships. Under Armour signed Spieth to a 10-year mega deal worth north of $20 million annually. Add in Rolex, Titleist, AT&T, Coca-Cola, the guy's basically a walking ad for luxury. But Spieth hasn't just played safe with his cash. He's been spotted investing in beverage startups, sports tech firms, and even hinted at buying into a pro baseball team. Rumor has it he's been quietly networking with MLB owners, possibly lining up his post-golf play. He's young, loaded, and business savvy, which makes him a strong bet to move even higher up this list in the next decade. But our next golfer? He already turned down a fortune most can't imagine. Rory McIlroy could have cashed in a $500 million check. Instead, he went to war. The 4-time major champion has become the face of the PGA Tour's resistance to LIV Golf. And reportedly, LIV offered him close to $500 million to defect. He said no. That move cost him, financially at least. But McIlroy's still doing just fine. With massive deals from Nike, TaylorMade, Omega, and Workday, his endorsement earnings dwarf his tournament winnings. His Nike deal alone was valued at $200 million. But his outspoken stance hasn't always played well. Fans have accused him of hypocrisy after his comments about other players. And his flip-flopping in the LIV PGA merger left many scratching their heads. Still, Rory remains a global icon. And as long as he's in the spotlight, the money keeps flowing. But next up is a name you may not expect to see this high. Fred Couples might not have the major count of Tiger or Jack, but he's one of the most beloved players in golf history. And surprisingly, one of the wealthiest. Couples won the Masters in 1992 and earned respect for his smooth swing and laid-back vibe. But it was his quiet business moves that really stacked his wealth. He's become a go-to name in golf course design, with dozens of high-end properties under his belt. He's also done extensive TV work, branding deals, and even dipped into real estate development. What most fans don't know? Couples owns multiple multi-million-dollar homes, particularly in Southern California and Florida, and has made millions flipping luxury properties. And while he's kept his image clean, some insiders say his business dealings are far more aggressive than his on-course demeanor lets on. But the next name on this list doesn't just design golf courses, he practically turned it into an empire. Gary Player didn't just conquer golf, he marketed the hell out of himself. Nicknamed the Black Knight, Player was one of golf's original global ambassadors. With 9 major championships and over 160 wins worldwide, his trophy haul is legendary. But the real money came from branding. He built a licensing empire with everything from golf apparel to protein shakes to course design. He reportedly charges over $1 million per course for his design services, and he's done more than 400 of them. He's also made millions on the speaking circuit, delivering keynotes around the world while staying ripped into his 80s. No joke. His fitness routine is part of the brand. But Gary's career hasn't been without tension. He's had a public spat with Augusta National over ceremonial tee duties. And in recent years, his son was banned from the Masters for promoting products during his dad's tee shot. Awkward. Still, with a hustle that never quits and a global business footprint, Player's fortune is anything but old school. But the next man didn't just license his name, he built a brand worth hundreds of millions. You know the record, 18 major championships. But what most people don't realize is that Jack Nicklaus made more designing golf courses than playing them. His company, Nicklaus Design, has created over 425 courses in 45 countries, including some of the world's most exclusive layouts. And that design empire, it rakes in tens of millions annually. Jack has also locked in lucrative endorsement deals with Rolex, Perry Ellis, and dozens of partners over the years. He's even lent his name to retirement communities, wine labels, and golf academies. But there's a legal twist. In 2022, he got tangled in a lawsuit with his own company, which claimed he violated a non-compete clause. Jack's team fought back, saying he was being pushed out of his own legacy. Brand battles aside, the Golden Bear has built a portfolio of real estate, licensing, and business interests that could rival any CEO. Still, he was never quite the shark that came next. Greg Norman was a golfing superstar. Now he's a business hurricane. Before LIV Golf ever entered the picture, the shark had already crafted a $500 million empire. His Greg Norman Collection clothing brand was a retail smash. He launched a wine company, an interior design firm, and owns a luxury real estate portfolio spanning Australia, the US, and the Caribbean. But things exploded when he became the CEO of LIV Golf. Reports claim Norman was paid over $100 million just to helm the breakaway league. And while that role has sparked massive backlash from the PGA Tour and fans alike, the money, life-changing. He's now one of the most polarizing figures in the sport, either a visionary disruptor or a villain for hire, depending on who you ask. And if LIV survives long-term, Norman's financial stake could grow even bigger. But the next guy's net worth nearly doubled that, even as his reputation took hit after hit. Lefty isn't just one of the greatest shot makers of all time, he's also one of the most complicated. Phil Mickelson's wealth exploded with his $200 million LIV Golf deal, which reportedly came with a massive signing bonus. But that was only the latest chapter in his money saga. For years, he was a marketing darling. Rolex, Callaway, Workday, Amgen, you name it. But behind the scenes, there were whispers about his gambling. Then came the bombshell. A tell-all book alleged that Mickelson had wagered over $1 billion in bets over 3 decades and lost tens of millions. He even allegedly tried to bet on a Ryder Cup match he was playing in. Despite the scandals, Phil remains active in the business world. He's invested in tech startups, NFTs, and equity ventures tied to sports betting and entertainment. Love him or hate him, Mickelson's story is one of high stakes, high risk, and even higher rewards. But if you think that's wild, wait until you see who's still ahead of him. One legend who earns millions even after death, and another who changed golf forever. Arnold Palmer didn't just change golf, he turned it into a global business. With just over 60 PGA Tour wins, his playing career alone didn't stack up to $1 billion fortune. But his brand? That's another story. Palmer became a marketing pioneer. He signed deals with Cadillac, Hertz, and Pennzoil back when athletes rarely did endorsements. He built a signature drink, the Arnold Palmer Iced Tea Lemonade Combo, that exploded into a multi-million-dollar beverage empire. He also launched Arnold Palmer Enterprises, a licensing juggernaut that managed everything from clothing lines to fragrance deals. He designed dozens of golf courses, founded a charitable hospital, and created a lifestyle image that was as marketable as it was iconic. But here's the kicker. Even after his death in 2016, his estate reportedly brings in over $40 million per year. Arnold Palmer didn't just play the game, he rewrote the rules of how golfers make money. And for years, he was untouchable at the top, until this next name changed everything. Tiger Woods isn't just the richest golfer of all time. He's the only one to become a billionaire while still playing. He earned over $120 million in tournament winnings alone, but that's the smallest part of the story. Tiger's sponsorship deals became legendary. Nike, Gatorade, Rolex, Bridgestone, EA Sports, TaylorMade, and more. At his peak, he was pulling in over $100 million annually just from endorsements. But even after his public scandals, car crash, and injuries, Tiger never stopped cashing checks. He launched TGR Ventures, a holding company that includes his design firm, luxury real estate partnerships, a restaurant chain, the Woods Jupiter, and the TGR Foundation, which supports underserved youth. He also co-founded TMRW Sports with Rory McIlroy, launching a new virtual golf league backed by massive media and tech investors. Despite every setback, Tiger has built a diversified empire that no golfer, living or dead, has come close to replicating. And in 2024, Forbes confirmed it. Tiger Woods officially joined the Billionaire Club. So what does this list tell us? That golf is no longer just a sport, it's a global business platform. The top players aren't just winning trophies, they're building empires. Arnold Palmer turned iced tea into millions. Mickelson turned controversy into cash. Norman turned rebellion into a payday. And Tiger? He turned every swing into a brand. But with LIV Golf handing out 100 million plus contracts like it's nothing, a new generation is already closing in. Could someone like Bryson DeChambeau or Jon Rahm break into this list within the next few years? Or is the real future off the course in business, branding, and billion-dollar ventures? One thing's for sure, in today's game, the richest golfers aren't just the best players. They're the ones playing the money game better than anyone else.